First of all, they are patriots just for the decision to serve the nation in that regard.
Okay.
Because it takes patriotism to know that you could die and yet you want to serve, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But now the truth is, the corruption we see in armed forces is as a result of high-level poverty. That's a simple truth. The police and the army are underfunded. I've said this
Several
times without number. We must fund the police, the armed forces. They are our first line of defense at any given time. And so we must not play games with their welfare. Now, when a police officer dies in active service, and his wife is crying the last 15 years to get his compensation to be able to pay children's school fees, and nobody cares, what message are you passing on to other officers? I better do whatever I can do to get money now, because if anything happens to me, my wife is going to suffer. You see the mentality that's leading to that corruption. Because nobody actually takes care of them. Now, the police force and the armed forces should be structured in such a way that people can see it as a career path that makes them and their families comfortable. The police and armed forces must attract the best minds in our society. And so the best way to do that is to structure it in such a way that it is respectable. And so what you can do, like I've always said, is that you must restructure the entry qualifications into these forces by making sure that the least requirement to enter into the police or the army will be the HND. You know what that's going to do? An educated mind thinks differently. But the people who are guards and our line of defense are the lowest of the lowest in society. People who have school certs. Some of them are already smoking marijuana and doing criminal activities. But there was an announcement that the police are employing because they don't have jobs, they go and apply. Without character, without moral compass, without respect for self. You just go because you need an income. And so the people we have employed and made police officers are people who were already criminal. You get the point? And so we need to change the entry level and make sure that if you're coming to apply to the police force or the military, that you understand that this is a profession that has respect and dignity. And so you must at least have a HND. And so that becomes the entry level. That means that if the basic entry level is HND, that means that master's degree holders can apply. That means that PhD holders can apply. That means that you need to restructure their salaries and ensure that they earn enough salaries
According to the qualification.
According to their qualification that allows them to take care of their families in consideration of the risk they are taking.
But does qualification have anything to do with character of people?
No, it doesn't. But I'm saying if we can say that qualification doesn't have anything to do with character, then it's even much worse when we're employing people who were already criminal on the streets. We have a better chance of getting the better people if we choose the educated. You get the point?
Yeah.
Because somebody who's educated, really somebody who's gone through the university, thinks a different way.
They might be easier to reorientate those people.
Absolutely. But I've always said that a lot of people that go through our universities are not really educated. But we need to search for the educated. There is a way, there's a criteria to actually find out. There has to be an interview process.
Yeah.
You ask a number of questions and you're able to get to the answer. Sorry, let me finish this up. So now, when you do that, you pay them enough. When a police officer is paid enough and he's educated, and you ensure he has a good car as a police patrol car, you ensure he has the equipment he needs, enough guns or even the stunt guns, the tasers like you have in America. They have a good communication system. They have a welfare system. And they have multiple uniforms provided by the government on a yearly basis. That he can have a change of raiment. Right? He has the ceremonial one and the one that's official for his work.
Some sense of dignity in the job.
Absolutely. What you have done, what you would achieve is a rebranding of the force. So that you who is the briber will look at the person you're trying to bribe. You'll be afraid to offer him a bribe. Because his shoes are properly polished. He's a tall young man, because I've also advocated that we have to have a certain height. That I'm telling you the truth. There has to be a certain height that is the limit.
Yeah, there is.
5'5" or 5'7". So that when you look at a police officer, you see charisma. And the way he understands the law and articulates it to you, you'll be afraid to even suggest a bribe. So we need to rebrand the force and ensure that these people know that they can earn a living and have a good career through the force. When we do that, then a police officer will not be afraid to arrest a commissioner or a senator. Until we get there, we can't get it right.